Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be interviewing Nancy McLoughlin, the wife of legendary horror director Tom McLoughlin, who directed Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, which makes her guest number 4 from that movie. And she was in several of his other movies, Date with an Angel, Odd Girl Out, my personal favorite, and several others. And I'm having her on the show today. She's been trying to come on since Halloween, but now she is coming on in the spring. So yeah, here is my interview with Nancy McLoughlin. Hey Nancy.
You thought this wouldn't occur.
Yeah. Welcome to the show finally. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. It's such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, it's my honor.
Yes.
So what's up, you?
Oh, nothing much. Just coming back from, Easter, 420. It was a great weekend.
I bet it was. How about May the 4th?
May the 4th.
Do you celebrate that?
What is May the 4th?
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, May the 4th be with you. I do like Star Wars, but I'm not that nerdy. I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars guy.
Nah. I celebrate it, but I'm not a hardcore person, but I love it. I do love it. And it is wonderful.
Yeah, I do celebrate Cinco de Mayo, though, because I love Mexican food.
And tequila. I just don't drink it, but I love it. It's good to look at.
I can't drink anymore, so I drink horchata.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's like a Mexican milk. It's got like
yes, I know exactly what it is. Forgive me. Yeah.
Yeah, the cinnamon.
Delicious.
The cinnamon and the rice. Yeah, I like that.
And it's coming up.
Yes. Oh my God. I look forward to it every year. I mean, you can eat Mexican food any day of the year, but that's the one year I look forward to. I just got to make sure I get there early before it gets crowded.
Where do you go?
I go anywhere. I'm from the Bay Area, and I used to go to this place in San Mateo where I'm from called Charlie's every year. But now that I'm living in Redding, we have one taqueria across the street. It's not that great, but...
I think you have to make the leap and drive to San Mateo.
Maybe. I mean, I'm coming down the following weekend because I'm shooting my own horror movie pilot show.
Congratulations. How'd you get that funded and everything?
We're doing it with no money, but lots of imagination.
We've been doing a lot of that lately.
Mm-hmm. It's that
very creative, a lot of work, but just so satisfying.
It's that time now, I mean, everybody's doing it with very little money, but everyone's got a camera now.
Yeah, totally. Have you seen any of the podcasts from Phil Cook?
Phil Cook? I don't believe so.
He's great on that, on filmmaking and stuff like that, and how to get things done, and he's been around forever doing huge things. But just some of the podcasts are on, when it was 5 minutes and they dropped YouTube down to 2 minutes, now it's back up to a 7-minute time span. It's like every day our business is changing, every moment. So you got to just be alert and ready to create content in a new time and a new this and a new that. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's changing quite a bit. I mean, in the last 4 years that I've been actually pursuing the business, I regret not doing it like right out of high school. But the reason why I didn't right out of high school is because I didn't know how yet, and the internet helped me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not everybody goes to homeschool, and not that I don't think you need to go to homeschool, but I do think you need the education. You need to be the right connections, the right people to, where you're brought up, what people value, and not that you have to value something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're an artist, you want to do your art.
Yeah, back in 2002, I took a film class during a semester at junior college, and I didn't understand a lot of the technical stuff, and I was too busy telling jokes and not doing my schoolwork, and
Exactly. Yeah.
It's smoking a lot of pot with all the other kids. I mean, it wasn't a good time.
Well, there's seasons for everything. And I presume, which you should never do, that you probably, through osmosis, got a lot of information. But a lot of times we're at an age that you're just not ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're just not. And literally, at 19, I went away to college to San Francisco, actually. And
nice.
I got the opportunity to play, and I had no interest in college. I was going to do, I was a dance major, communications minor. I had no interest in it. I was just doing it because you're supposed to. And then I got an opportunity to play a college student on Days of Our Lives. And I went, that's the same thing. So I quit college and went and did Days of Our Lives. And it just cracks me up. I wish, in hindsight, I would have stayed in college. In hindsight, I think education is so important. Now, the education I got there was amazing as well. But just saying, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So did you fall in love with acting early on?
I was an actress at 3 years old. Just knew that's what I was going to do my whole life. My father was a comedy writer, and we were always around the business, and producers would be at our house and stuff like that. So yeah, I knew pretty early on, and my family just wouldn't allow me to act till I was 18. They weren't going to drive me around. We are from New Jersey, and we moved to California when I was 13 because he got a show out here, and the Red Skelton show actually, and then the Dick Van Dyke Variety Hour, and so yeah, always that's all I ever wanted to do.
Wow, who did your dad work? Who did he write for?
He wrote for Red Skelton, Dick Van Dyke, Steve Allen. He wrote on many shows. He wrote movies. He did a lot of comedy writing. But interestingly, he was Dick Van Dyke's only private pantomime writer. And then Tommy McLoughlin was the only other secondary private pantomime writer that Van Dyke ever had. And when I was little, he was like Uncle Dick, because he was in the prime of all the shows and stuff. And he'd do my dad's skits on the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Mm-hmm.
And then he repeated them on the Dick Van Dyke Variety Show. But, I mean, it's just amazing how time changes. And I ran into him just like 6 months ago. And I go up to him, because he's had an accident. He's in great shape, but how is he possibly going to remember me? You know? Yeah. So, for a zillion reasons. And so I'm like looking and waiting. We're at this makeup place that I guess is right for shopping. And I went, just tell him how great he was. Just started to talk. He had no clue. He knew my father's name and he knew Tommy's name. But he still couldn't probably figure out who I was. But I could name the skit. And when he gets stuck, I could finish the skit. And he just was he got more and more alive every minute we were together. So his wife was taking kind of a long time. It was like a half hour. And we're just sitting there chatting. And his wife comes up like, oh, we got to go now. And like I'm a fan, no, she's got to go with us. She's got to go with us. It was a magical time that I got to really, because, I've been around him so much of my life, just to come back at a later time and just tell him what he meant to me.
Yeah, I remember.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I remember 3 years ago, two cult movie actresses that I'm friends with were signing autographs at Monsterpalooza, and he was there, and he took a picture with them, and I was like, is he a fan? Like, like I would never have guessed it, or maybe he'd met them before. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty cool, and I wish I had been there that day.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there that day. I was there like It was like on Friday night. I was there Sunday. I was like, wow, I wish I'd been there.
Wow, that would have been very cool. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sure seems like it.
And the amount of people he's, touched is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the guy went from, Broadway being mostly known for that to having, a sitcom in everyone's living room. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, that's like almost unheard of now.
And interestingly, some of my best, like one of my dear friends, he grew up on Dick Van Dyke and looks like Dick Van Dyke, was in line like Dick Van Dyke, and a writer and a this and a that. And it's just interesting that he was in my life. And we didn't really ever, I don't know. It's interesting that he really modeled his life after Dick Van Dyke.
Wow,
I know several people.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. But he's a force. He's a force. And I never thought of doing anything else. And I was rather quite annoying, probably, to my parents, because all I wanted to do was that. And so my dad, if a producer would come over and want me for something, because why don't we just use Nancy? I mean, her color is good, color TV and stuff like that. And she's very open to that. Nope. Nancy, hi.
They take you to move. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't work till I didn't start working until I was 18.
Wow.
19 actually.
Yeah, your parents took you to movies and Broadway shows and all that.
Oh yeah, a lot of Broadway shows. My sister was a really great opera singer actually, but singer, so all of the musicals and stuff. And my dad wrote a musical actually.
Oh.
That was on Broadway for like 5 minutes. And so, yes. And we lived right in New Jersey, but it was right next to Manhattan. So it was easy, and my grandparents and everybody lived in Manhattan, so it was easy to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving to California was like the biggest culture shock in all the stinking world. Literally, it's terrified.
Yeah, I got to see the last wave of how LA used to be back in 1990 when my parents took me out there when I was 6.5, and I just remember how it was. And like the last couple of years I've been going down there, it's just like it's not the same place that I remember it.
I think it's actually, personally, and I could be wrong, gotten a teeny bit cooler. I see a new wave of filmmaker here that is willing to, that's more about the excellence than the dream of the party and the Oscar. A dear friend of mine, Kwame Parker, just won the Oscar as an executive producer, one of the executive producers for the Green Book.
Yeah.
He was Tommy's assistant 20 years ago. To watch him grow up, you know what I mean, in his excellence and his just his steadfastness and excellence. I mean, really, it's seeing him get an Oscar. That is amazing. That's a miracle. I see. Have you ever heard of the Greenhouse Arts and Media, a nonprofit in LA?
No.
People that come here, it's a great resource because it's about being creative, any kind of art, but being creative and having an excellence and having sustainability and having integrity with it, and not coming, how to work smarter, not harder. Great connections. They have great workshops. Brilliant workshops. Every workshop I've been to has been like a college course. Amazing people speak there. And then they have like a spotlight series where the creator of Greenhouse will interview someone, sort of like a PBS special kind of thing. And it's really good. You should look it up. It's Greenhouse Arts and Media on YouTube. There's some good stuff. But that's what I see. I see it becoming more about the work and less about the party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of good, which is very good.
I'm definitely going to check that out because I'm going out there for a trial run for a few months later in the year.
Oh, when?
Probably by August.
And the trial run meaning what?
I'm going to go out there for a few months to see if I can get stuff done, anything done out there. And I was offered a role in a movie, and it might be they might start shooting by then. I don't know yet.
What movie?
Well, I can't talk about the movie, but
Got it.
I think it's.
Congratulations. Can I say that?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you can say that.
That's incredible.
I could say.
Did you audition, or is it through people that know people or whatever?
Somebody that I know, offered it to me when I was there 2 weeks ago, and I think it's an Amazon Prime movie, but I'm not sure yet. His last movie was for Amazon, and so I'm just pretty excited because it's funny, how Hollywood likes to cast you a certain way that you don't see yourself. This is definitely one of those situations.
No, it's totally true. I've played racist so many times, and I'm always like, what? I don't get it. But if you've done a part one way, you know what I mean? They see you that way.
Yeah.
And that's why it's fun to do, like the Moonstone is just so much joy. It's this web series I'm doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Working with these people is amazing. It's amazing. And to watch their dedication and hard work and all that is just amazing. I really love them. And it's like there's married couples, friends from way back, and they're just all have the same vision.
Now, did you meet Tom while he was working on John Frankenheimer's Prophecy?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So how did that happen?
She was the monster, and my girlfriend was a dear, dear friend. Father was in charge of security, and it was a closed set. So we were allowed on, so nobody knew was on the set. Everybody knew everybody, and people, when you have a closed set, those are long hours. So you notice when two girls walk in, you'd notice two new people. And I walked in, and he was whining out of the monster suit. He looked at me. I was, aspiring actress. I just thought you never marry. It's just because you can't do two things well. You can only act. And so I never dated. And so he'd smile at me, I'd run away. I'd be looking at him and smiling, and he'd catch me, and I'd run away. And then it's funny, in his book, he writes it completely differently. He says, so he found out I had to leave and go to work, and I did, and I felt like someone was following me. But I didn't turn around. I was from New York, and I, had my keys ready if anyone came near me. How that track. But I felt safe because I was on the Paramount lot. So I didn't ever turn around. And so I just got my car and drove off. And then he showed up at my work, which was the restaurant at the time, the Old World restaurant. Sunset is kind of famous. And I don't see very well without my contacts. And so I said, why don't I smile? Why don't I just be nice? He seemed like a nice guy. He's a loaf like that guy. And he had bright stripes on him. He kind of had stripes like that guy. He was like a foot away from me before I realized it was him. And he said, I thought I'd never see you again. And in his book, he writes it kind of snarky, like, I thought I'd never see you again. No, he was like, you don't find out where a woman works and then bring her flowers and say, I never see you again. So the only reason I said yes was because I didn't have the chance to say no because it was in my face. I mean, otherwise I probably would have said yes and gotten out of it. But he was at my work at the end of my shift. And we went for coffee and talked for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Oh my God.
Now we act so like cocky about it. It cracks me up.
So it's safe to say that it wasn't love at first sight.
Oh no, it was. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I would have said no only because that's what I do. I wouldn't because I was afraid. I think it was totally love at first sight. Unless he was lying. I don't know. On my end, we had the best 5 hours, and then the next day we went out. I mean, it was totally love at first sight.
Oh. Did his casting you in his movies help you get work elsewhere?
What's funny is, no, I don't think so. Till someone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think it, in hindsight, because, well, maybe, who knows, but I would leave shows to do his shows so the family would stay together. I would not do things because he was going to be very busy, and I would, because of our children, because of this, family together. So, actually, I would say it probably hampered because you have to put somebody has to put family first.
Mm-hmm.
There's two people in the business. And so it's not a bad thing. I don't regret it. I don't resent it. I don't anything it. It's just what my life is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful that I had the career and I get to go back to the career now, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's what's interesting is there's none of that stress or concern about not getting a role.
That's good.
Yeah, it's more about the joy of auditioning, of getting the role, of playing the role. But you have that maturity and wisdom that if you don't get it, you don't, and that's okay.
Yeah. One of your first roles I remember so well, I used to watch this movie a lot when I was a kid, was Fuzzbucket.
You're kidding me.
Oh, I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Well, that is the part I totally got because of Tommy, if you want to know the truth. That's McGarris. And it was such a non-role. I mean, there was nothing to do. I don't even remember it. I don't think I've seen it, which is funny, but I still get a penny check from it. Literally a penny. I mean, sometimes it goes up, depending on how many times it's been shown. But that cracks me up. I'd love to see it. I should really look that up because Nick is a great friend, and I love him to pieces. It's just for whatever reason. I mean, I watched it the first time, but that was so thinking long ago. And I've just never seen it again. But I think I say like one line, like, how are you, or something. How could you possibly remember that?
Well, I didn't remember that. I just remembered the movie so well.
I can't recall what I said, but it was like nothing. It was just, yeah. And I did get that because Nick. And it was just like, oh, yeah, you want to do something hard to do. So, yes, I did get a role for that reason. I got a role once. That's so funny because when I went into casting, I could never go as Tommy's wife. He didn't want the casting directors to know we were married for whatever reason. I mean, of course, eventually people caught on, but this was one when they didn't. And it was the writer from On Golden Pond, and it turned out to be, they kept changing the title. It was the Kirk Douglas and Craig T. Nelson film. It was live voice tell at the time, but I think it's been changed since then, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I went into the audition, and so the the writer who just won an Academy Award for On Golden Pond for the writing, wrote this, and it was supposed to be for Michael Douglas and Kirk Douglas, but Michael Douglas couldn't do it for whatever reason, so Craig T. Nelson did it, and so he was in the casting, and no one knew I was married to Tommy, and he goes, that's so funny. Their name is spelled exactly like our directors. I said, well, how did this think I got this audition? I had to sleep with him before I could get it. And then without another word, he goes, we have our Gloria. I didn't audition. I didn't anything. And he really thought I was single and that I wasn't, I don't know what he thought. He thought I just had a snappy comeback or whatever I said. I don't really recall what I said, but whatever I said, he said, we have our Gloria. And so I didn't audition. He did not know we were married. Tommy never told him. So we're on the set for a couple of weeks, and this man is flirting with me.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I realized he's flirting with me. And I said, no, seriously, I'm sleep with a director. I'm married to the director. And he was so embarrassed. And I felt so bad about that. It was so awkward because I didn't realize he really didn't know.
Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
Didn't get it from Tommy.
Yeah, I listen to Mick Garris's podcast, Postmortem, all the time, and I've been trying to get him on mine, but he's been super busy.
He's a great guy. I've not listened to his podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He has.
Cynthia, does you do it with him?
I'm sorry?
Does Cynthia do it with him?
No, it's just him, and he talks to a horror person.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
He really knows horror. They have a horror club of directors that get together.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
So like once a month they get together. That sounds very cool.
Yeah. It started out. He was interviewing people one-on-one, like a talk show on YouTube, as this show Postmortem, and then he made it into a podcast. And he interviews a lot of the same people and stuff. A lot of his friends in the industry, like John Carpenter and Rick Baker and John Landis, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, has he interviewed Tommy?
I haven't heard him interview Tom, though.
I'd be curious.
He should.
I have no idea. It's so funny. It's gotten to the point where the industry's gotten so fragmented, you're not aware what everybody's doing. It used to be there were so few components, so few outlets that you knew what everybody was doing. Now, people are doing voiceover here, web series here, multi-music, podcast, this, that. You can't keep up with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that I miss.
Yeah.
I miss the connectedness. But I appreciate the excellence of things.
Yeah, I mean, we live in an age now of short attention spans. I mean, everyone has the advantage of finding out what everyone's doing, but, no one's doing it, I mean, you can go on anything on the internet and find out, but just so many people just don't want to do that now because they're always, working this job here and then running to the next job or something.
That's exactly correct. How about I never thought to Google someone, ever. I didn't even know I was on Google. I didn't even know. My IMDb Pro is wrong. I don't know who put it out there, but whoever did, I don't know how to change it. And it's wrong. And, people like my cousin will call and say, oh, so you're saying this? I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. And it's just funny that information, someplace, it's either Google or IMDb Pro, I don't know, but mostly worked with her husband. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Work-wise, yeah, you could say movies and stuff like that, but series-wise, no. I did many more other things, but I worked with many other directors. But who would write that? That sounds so mean. It sounds like I couldn't get work, or I couldn't, I don't know. I'm proud that I made the choices I made. And, life is how it is. I thought it was kind of, who would write something like that? It's kind of minimizing.
Yeah, it's
kind of putting someone in a box. And I don't think anybody should be put in a box.
Yeah, it's a weird time that we live in. But
Are you a guy of faith?
am I a guy of faith?
Yeah, of faith.
I'm Catholic. I believe in God, yes.
Just curious. I am a woman of faith, strongly. And I just love it. It just gives me a perspective and a way to love and look at people in a different way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just love that I can look at someone and say, even if they're being harsh, even if they're someone, enemy, that's a very, very, very strong word. Even if someone's being hurtful or whatever, to look past that and to say, you know what? We all are hurt. We all get in cranky moods. We all do that. And just have come from the perspective, what are we supposed to be doing here? We're supposed to be loving. We're supposed to be treating people well.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be remembering interviews. So sorry. I do humbly apologize about that one. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're here to get better, refine, and treat people well.
I know.
And I like that.
I know. I believe in that so much, and I'm just, mortified at people who are not treating others well,
Oh, I fully agree. I fully agree. And I don't understand the value in it. And if there's so much wisdom in, speak only if it edifies, if it's of value to the other person. Like, our tongue really can get us in so much trouble. So I'm trying to be more mindful with my tongue, with my witness of who I am, of what I am, and what I choose to do. And typically don't get involved with horror, And I say, you know what? Why? I see everybody as equally valuable.
Mm-hmm.
There's no genre that's different. I'm not a huge, scary movies scare me, quite honestly. I think they're meant to do that, but they do scare me. So it's not what I'm attracted to, but there's nothing less valuable about them,
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas I don't smear my past, I'm grateful.
Ah, that's beautiful, Nancy. That really is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're my fourth interview from Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Huh?
I've had Tom Matthews, C.J. Grimm, and Carrie Noonan on, and I'll tell you something. I'm so blessed to have had interviewed a ton of people from the franchise, and I have found that they are all sweet, nice people. Now, there's another franchise in horror that's hugely successful that I've interviewed. I get a totally different vibe from them. They are nice people, but I detect a little bit of hostility, resentment, and arrogance from them. But Friday people, not at all.
Oh, that's so nice. I mean, Carrie and I, we were like comrades forever. And on this set, so much joy, so much fun. Tom Matthews, I saw him at a convention. I don't really I've only done like one convention or whatever, but I saw him at a convention. We were like best buds. It was like time had not passed. I love his wife, Carla. She's amazing. CJ, could we ask for a better human being? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's really a lovely, lovely, lovely man. Actually, I haven't seen him, though. He's one person I haven't seen, but at the time, it was incredible. But, I only hear lovely things. And I do feel honored. That was a magical set. It was the cast and crew. Yeah, it was like a family.
Mm-hmm.
And we had joy. I was terrified, and I did think I was going to die a couple of times. Sincerely, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die in a Friday the 13th movie. This is going to be on the news. I don't want to die yet, Lord. I don't want to die yet. Specifically in a horror movie. Please, God. But I literally thought I was going to die a couple of times. So, other than that, it was all just me. And there was nothing, no reason. Well, there was reason, but there wasn't reason. Everybody took such good care of everybody. It was that crew. I'd love to know what happened to that crew.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 3 years old, we had this this VHS tape of Saturday Night Live, and there was previews in between the show, and there was a preview for Friday the 13th Part 6. And remember back in the day, they used to have those VCRs where you could only record the sound.
Wow, no, but yes, I'm sure I do, but I'm not thinking of it. Only the sound?
Yeah, you could only record the sound over something and not the visual.
Wow.
Well, we had one of those VCRs, and I don't know, at some point, I don't know, I guess I must have done it, maybe my brother did, where this really weird, foggy wind noise was over the sound of the preview, and that part where the little girl is in bed and she sees, the leaves, in the door.
Nancy? Her name was Nancy, and she was praying?
Yes.
That was me?
Yes. And so
yes, I do.
That scared me and freaked me out.
I bet it did.
Yeah, and it wasn't until maybe years later, when I was about 9 or 10, I actually saw the movie, and all that fear went away, because I knew, I already knew that, it was taped, the sound was taped over during the thing, and it just gave me some closure. And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, but how about that it's really true? I do think that you went full cycle. Another person might not, and hold that fear. What a blessing you had the full cycle of it, and were aware of it. Many people aren't aware when something's cyclical, and because that is a scary, scary thing, I think. And how amazing! I'm grateful you got closure in that, because that could be tricky.
Yeah.
And that's probably why you love horror, because you see the cyclicalness and the healing that can come.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And plus, I just love horror because it's just so entertaining, and it releases a lot of your fears and your dark side and all that fun stuff.
I hear that. All it does is scare me. I don't know. I don't get it. But I know that's true, because I've heard it over and over from many, many people, so I know it's true. But I'm saying I just get scared and close my eyes.
Yeah.
The time that, do you know One Dark Night?
One Dark Night. I've heard of it.
Okay, so it was earlier. It was Tommy's first film. Mm-hmm. And it was the time, and Evil Dead, right?
Of course.
Of course. And so both One Dark Night and Evil Dead were premiering at the Paris Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So we were with Ross Tappan and Sam Raimi for like a week or something in Paris as kids. I mean, can you imagine how fun that is?
Yeah.
We were newly engaged, and they were both single guys. And so they're meeting all these Parisian girls and stuff. But being in the theater that night, and everybody, Lisa, 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 meaning blood, blood, blood. They were just screaming at the thing. That was a very joyful thing. I don't think I saw the movie. I just watched the audience and enjoyed it so thoroughly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love The Evil Dead, and I interviewed one of the girls in it, and I actually saw her when I was out in L.A. 2 weeks ago. She was doing a signing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Betsy Baker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's wonderful.
Ah, very nice lady.
I don't know if darling's the right word, but wonderful.
Very nice lady. And she has a very long second toe.
She does. What does that mean? It means something. I know it does.
It means that she's a very compassionate and generous person.
I know the toes mean something, but I'm not sure what they mean. I'm looking at my toes actually right now, and my second toe is not bigger than my first toe. My toes sort of are like fingers. They're not too long. Mm-hmm. I can't believe I'm describing my toes right now. But it's true. I gotta just sort of descend.
It's okay. I like feet, so it's all good.
I never thought about it. I just happened to have my feet up on a rail and outside. It's such a beautiful afternoon.
I
a bunch of hummingbirds around me.
Mm-hmm. I love your scene in the movie. I love it when you're like, "Who do you think you are, Dirty Harry?"
I do too. Why that scene was written like that is because of my fear of horror films. Mm-hmm. And I would always say, "Honey, why are they running out there? Why would you do that? You go the other direction. You don't go towards the scary guy. You don't put your underpants on and go out in the woods." That makes no sense. So that is why. And he and I both had a love for 40s films. You know, that clip kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is why I was written like that. I mean, very intentionally. Very intentionally. Because that's what I would do. Just get away. Just run. Here, you want this? Take it. I don't care. You can't have my money. You can have this. Just get away from it. I think it's a really lovely scene. I think it's brilliant. I think he's a brilliant director.
Oh, yes. I love how he just brought humor to this one. It's still my favorite of all the sequels. You know, I mean, my favorite death scene is, you know, when the paintballers all get tag teamed with a machete.
And he does it without being offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a way of doing something really horrendous unoffensively. I think it's hysterical that Tom Fridley and Darcy DeMoss teamed with a big what is that called? You know what I mean? The sex scene.
Yeah.
It's just really well done. I think it's so cute the way Jason kind of tells his head, "What's going on in there?" It's not about judgment. It's like, what's that? There's just such a way of, I mean, all the ends are tied up. I think the references and it's just so well written.
Mm-hmm. My least favorite kill is Carrie's because it's so unnecessary. She's such a good girl in that movie.
Exactly. Me too. I would agree. Well, actually, every kill is my least favorite. But if we're going to go for fun kills, then I would say the paintballers could be my favorite. I mean, there's also David Kagan's kill is kind of good. You know, with the sheriff. That's kind of good. There's some really good kills in there.
Yeah.
I think there's added kills, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did. And, you know, they shot in my parents-in-law pool, some of the underwater scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff is just, you can't make this stuff up.
No.
It's just, actually, I think it's a really good movie.
Mm-hmm. I do too. If I could get killed by Jason, I just want him to tickle me to death.
That would be an interesting kill. I'd watch that.
Well, I'm such a pussy. I don't like pain.
I hate pain. I hate it so much. It's actually scaring me is painful. I don't know why. What is that from my childhood? Who knows? Who knows? But it's not that I can't watch. I will go to those things. I'll just prefer not to watch someone get hurt.
In part 5, Tiffany Helm got a knife to the gut. I told her, I said, Jason gave you another belly button.
I like that. That's a good way of looking at it. Just a piercing, really, if you want to think about it.
A piercing?
Just a piercing. That's all. And how about I was literally almost pierced? How about using a real spear? Oh my God, and real glass.
Oh my.
I mean, really. I mean, that was just God's grace that I didn't die.
Yeah. So you were satisfied with your death?
Yeah, totally satisfied with mine. But what I love about my death is literally, I got stuck in the mud puddle. So me never do it again because I literally couldn't get my footing to get my thing out of my pocket or wherever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was so frustrated, and I'm going, why is my thing cut? Okay, keep going. So that's real frustration. That's really like me going, I can't get it. It's not the frustration of Jason, but it's still frustration. It's like, I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it right. I'm supposed to easily take out these things, and I don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Tom, a year later, directed another movie I like called Date with an Angel. And I remember that movie when I was a kid. It went over my head, right? But now that I'm older, I understand it more. What was the genesis behind that movie? Because he wrote it.
Mm-hmm. It was a dream movie that he always wanted to do. And, well, there's so many different things. At one point, and I don't think Tommy recalls this, wanted me to play the angel.
Oh.
And I got pregnant and couldn't. But there was a world search for the angel. And, I mean, come on. Emmanuel Bayard is perfect. Perfect angel. I was the fun angel. I was, it's just so, I had the more quirky humor, which is what at the time they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think Tom used to have horrendous headaches. I think part of it came from that. I think part of it came from, I don't know, it was a dream project that he got the opportunity to do because of Friday. And I think it's a wonderful rom-com. And they're all his friends. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
From his past. I'm sure you know everything. I don't think I could share anything that's not known except the fact that that we have our angel, Nancy. She's our angel. And that was so quickly squashed by me getting pregnant.
Oh my God. That would have been good to see you in that role.
It was, and it was so funny. I knew I conceived that night. We were preparing for like in a year to have children.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I conceived that night, and I stayed up all night crying because I knew I had just gotten the part, and I knew it was flying and all these things, and I couldn't do it. By dawn, I knew I was crazy. No one knows they conceive. That's ridiculous. Of course that's ridiculous. And 6 weeks later, guess who was pregnant? And it's the only time we had not used protection. So I know the day I conceived.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fascinating. And with my daughter, I have no clue.
Oh.
But I think that's interesting. I think if you conceive at the moment, as opposed to the 3-day, whatever window you have to conceive, I think maybe you know it. Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you why. I can just say it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I love about the movie...
No one stays up all night trying to say, I've lost the old answer. Right? I know.
Yeah, well...
I think it's really dark.
Yeah. But what I love about the movie, though, it reminds me of those quirky romantic comedies that came out in the mid-'80s, like Splash and and Mannequin. These movies where the guy falls in love with the girl you least suspect, and, they represent some kind of, mythic force,
Exactly. And actually, Thomas was written before them. I want to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Before Splash, before Mannequin, it was. So it was not a copy, because it was right around the same time, I think.
Yeah.
And some people thought it was. And do you know who was possibly going to play the lead guy?
Who?
Jim Carrey.
Really?
We still have audition tape.
Oh my God.
And it was like, she had just done a series called That Factory, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
And I loved him. I thought he was incredible. And I said, you got to see him. You got to see him. Well, who is he? Who is he? I was always finding people for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they saw him, and Tommy loved him. But Dino wanted somebody that overseas would make a difference. And Michael Knight was a dream. It was a dream to work with this thing. But he would be overseas value because the soap opera was huge overseas.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was cast instead of Jim Carrey, who could have made it this like a breakout.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever got the credit it deserved.
Yeah, he mm-hmm.
It's still a great film.
It is, you know. And I interviewed Cheryl Pollack, who played the cashier at the grocery store in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
She said she doesn't remember much about the movie at all, but she remembers that Tom was quite a gentleman, and I think she had some creepy directors before that, but she said Tom was a real breath of fresh air.
Oh, he truly, I can only give compliments. He's a great director.
Mm-hmm.
I was pregnant at the house in that movie. And it was so funny. Emmanuel would watch me grill, and me knowing that I could have been her, but, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're so fat. I tap you like a balloon. And I'm like, I know. And she'd call at night. I need to speak with Tom. And I said, oh, he's not back yet. Can I help you with anything? Oh, you do not know how an angel feels. Don't you feel an angel feels? So he turned out to be dear. But at that moment, I was like, do you know how angels feel? It was a hard time watching it being bigger and bigger and bigger. But it was a joy, too. I mean, it was so much fun. And Emmanuel turned out to be a lovely woman. She's brilliant, hysterical.
Yeah, my two favorite parts of the movie is when Phoebe Cates is like, you kicked me in the hiney.
And you know what's hysterical?
What?
That's the word for me, my child. Anytime my dad got me to laugh, because he was a comedy writer, and he would sit us down and say, I'll bet you 25 cents you can't not laugh at this. Well, his humor was so way over my head, and all my sisters were older.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't find it funny either. But, the humor was for adults. Like, I said, no, Daddy, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And as soon as I saw the humor, I was like, I can do this. Yeah, please. Okay. And then, he was losing too much money, so he'd throw in the word hiney, and I'd always laugh. I said, my word, hiney or underpants made me laugh. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
That's what's hysterical, is the millions of references.
Yeah, and the other part is when she gets that lovegram from those clowns.
Oh, Tony Rotano was brilliant.
Yeah. That scared me when I was a kid, because I was scared of clowns when I was really, really little.
He was a love bug.
A love bug. But he reminded me of a clown for some reason.
Totally. I get it. I don't know why people have clowns. I've never found them funny. Well, I do now. I can appreciate European clowning and stuff like that, and the talent, the art stuff. But as kids, they scare the pants off me. Where is the joy in it? I've never seen a kid jump on a clown. I don't think kids like them. Personally. And you're seeing it too. But I mean, of course I appreciate the art. Of course I appreciate the biz. But no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not scared of them no more, but I was at that time. I every time I was watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I had to turn my head when the clowns were around.
Oh gosh. So many things I wouldn't let my kids see. It's hysterical. I was like, terrified. Nope, can't do that. I don't think they saw me die until they were like 18.
Oh.
I mean, I really was curious as to when they first saw that. I mean, I know it was older, but I don't know how old.
Yeah. Although I do have
I
to.
got to have that question. I do have to ask that question. That is a question.
Yeah. Although I do have to say the Killer Clowns from Outer Space never scared me. I always thought that they were different from the real clowns in terms of scariness, the way they looked.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. How funny.
Mm.
You have such great references. You see, what you don't realize is through osmosis and through your background, what you have. You have such an education that most people don't because you were paying attention in that regard.
Yeah. I've always been a movie buff, you know.
Exactly. And I've always loved movies, but I didn't have the opportunity to watch them as much as a lot of other people. I don't know why. I don't know what I've been doing. But I love I always love old movies. I love the references to the past. I love rom-coms. I'm sorry. They always get me. They do. I just saw a great movie, Mary Magdalene. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of Mary Magdalene. I didn't know there was a movie about her.
I saw it on the day before Easter. What a perfect day to see it. And it's extrapolations, of course. It's not biblical. But it's extrapolating who she was. And it was such a fascinating. It was beautiful. If you get a chance to see, if at all you're interested in historical, biblical kind of things, it was gorgeous. And it really, at the very end, it says, and I didn't realize this, that she was not made into a prostitute until it was either 536 or 356. No one ever said things like that about her until that time. And then in 2016, the Catholic Church has made her an apostle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I heard something about that, but I didn't know if that was just an internet rumor or something.
You never know the truth, but I'm pretty sure since it's on the tag of this movie, it's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can just put anything on the tag of the movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can. I don't know. But I found that after seeing this, I was so grateful. It made me grateful because she really added so much to this movie. She added such a peace element.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie if you get a chance to see it.
I definitely will check that out, yeah. I mean, there's no movie genre that I don't like, so I'll definitely check it out.
I kind of like most genres, too.
Mm-hmm.
Outer Space kind of freaks me out a little.
Outer Space?
I'm reading a book. It's called, what is it called? It's so good. Actually, I'm going to finish it. I have a club tonight. Nancy and Book Club always trying to finish her books because she's doing such little things and it's a little annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it? It's got to be right here. Come here, you. And I know it's called Just One Damn Thing After Another. Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodi Taylor. And it's about time travel, historical time travel. But it's cozy and it's a real story and it's great. If you get a chance, that's a great book to read if you like time travel books and you like to read fiction and you like that kind of thing. I just like all of it. I'm very eclectic.
Yeah, my forte in terms of books is mostly biographies about old movie stars. I love those.
Oh, I went through a season of only reading those.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, those are so much fun.
Yeah.
Specifically when you just see what was going on in the backdrop of these films, or the murders, like A Case for Murder.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good book, and such a true story, and they still don't know who did it. I mean, really? Everybody, because publicity would cover up a murder.
Yeah.
It would come in, the studio system would come in and cover up where Fatty Arbuckle and how how demonized he was and how horrendously he was treated. I mean, yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I've read a lot of those.
Yeah, I've read some good ones too. Robert Mitchum's was good. Gregory Peck's was good. I like Gregory Peck's book because it had the shooting dates of every movie that he did in there, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like they kept a record of when each film was shot. You know.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. Yeah, I don't think the ones I've read specifically say it, or they might. But not like you're saying. It must be in a more very clerical way, because the ways I've seen it, I don't think it's been too clerical. But they would say, "Oh, when I did this movie in this year," or something like that.
Yeah.
Not date.
You did an episode that Tom directed of Freddy's Nightmares called "It's a Miserable Life."
One of my favorite films. One of my favorite shows that I did.
Yeah.
Episodes that I did. And is that the scariest thing? Yeah. But it was the most fun in the world character to play. Because when you talk about getting to go dark and light, I got to be the craziest of all crazy. Your biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
Then just normal. It was so much fun.
And you got to work with
I love it.
You got to work with one of my favorite people, Lar Park Lincoln.
She's a wonderful woman. I love her.
Yeah, she
Still keep in touch, and we see each other quite a day.
I talked to her around Christmas time. I was supposed to have her on Monday, but her schedule got busy because she's going out of town this week. And but I'm gonna have her back on when she gets back. I just enjoy talking to her. She's so much fun, and she loves it when I tell dirty jokes.
Okay, tell one.
I actually like to save them for the end.
But we almost have to end it because I have so much to get done today.
Okay.
And I keep forgetting to do my due diligence to so many things.
Okay.
I get so caught up in the moment.
Okay. Let me bring up one more movie. This is my favorite. This is my favorite that Tom has ever directed. Odd Girl Out.
Really?
Yes, because
How come?
I was bullied in school, and so this movie resonated with me to the max. And to an extent, I'm still being treated this way by certain people, unfortunately. You know,
I'm sorry. That's a horrendous thing.
Internet trolls, yeah. And this was just before the internet trolls went really, really bad. But yeah, I saw this on Lifetime when it first aired, and I became obsessed with it because it just resonated with me. And
oh, I'm so grateful, because truly it is a horrendous thing that people do that. And that's one reason I think social media is a nightmare, because it can hurt people so easily. Like messing with someone's IMDb credit. Like, you know what I mean? Stupid, that's stupid. But even that hurts. You know, things hurt. Things I see just really, I always pray about that. That's something I pray about a lot, because bullying just is as real as beating someone up.
yes,
And I was bullied as well, just you know.
emotional abuse, and lowering self-esteem, to make yourself feel better. I mean, that's just it's evil. It's beyond evil.
It's real, and because it's so benign, you can say you didn't, and there's no marks. And oh no, there's marks. They're not visible. You know, if you beat someone up, you're stuck. You know, but if you just poke at them continuously and bully them, you can get away with it, and that's horrendous. I agree with you. Oh, I'm grateful that's you.
Yeah, Alexa Vega is so great, and Leah Pipes. I mean, she's so pretty with those eyes, and you kind of feel sorry for her character as well, because I think she really does care for Alexa Vega's character, but popularity seems to matter more to her, and it's a very tricky and complex story that way.
She got some great performances out of them. I mean, they're great actresses on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But a director's touch really does bring out the empathy or the whatever. You need to see both sides of a person's character. And most bullies truly have been bullied in some way or another. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it end? You know, it's got to end somewhere. Somebody's got to say no to bullies. And if everybody stood up to it, it would be incredible. I think more and more it's becoming something that they are. I don't know how you protect it. Like now, for you, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with bullies at this point?
Well, for me, I've gotten to the point now, I wish I had more time to tell you this, but I had a car accident 4 years ago, and it changed my whole perspective on life and how I operate. And I'm at the point now where if I get bullied like that, I just message them and say, hey, you better knock that shit off, or I'm calling the cops.
Good.
Yeah.
And can you leave it? Just leave it at the house and just forget about it, or does it still haunt you?
It does haunt me on occasion, but I can let it go. I mean, if it's really, really bad, that's when I say knock it off, or I'm calling the cops. Or if it's just something minor, I just block them.
Good.
Yeah.
You can't let that crap in. Forgive my French. That wasn't a polite word, but you know what I mean. You just can't. We got to protect ourselves. To do no harm to others is also to do no harm to yourself. And sometimes kind people do more harm to themselves because they want to protect other people. The fact is, call the police.
Right.
Protect yourself. It's valuable. I mean, how can we be bright lights if we're the walking wounded? I mean, we are the walking wounded. We all have our buckets. But how do we do that properly? We got to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was better, I don't know how you do it, but better control over that on the internet. But I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't let it get to me. It's been really good lately, though. Last year, I had a lot of trolls. They were like messaging me and asking me if I would give them the phone numbers of like guests I've had on the podcast and stuff. I mean, I was like, oh my God. I mean, I'm sure every podcaster goes through something like that, but that's just like I was not prepared for that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine you were.
I mean, that's not bullying, but it's scary stuff,
Yeah. It is. I think it's got to be very scary. I think when you're out there for the world to see, we just have to be more mindful. And I pray a lot. So I just will absolutely add you, Tommy, to my prayers. If you'd like me to pray right now for you, I would. Prayer.
Oh yeah, you could.
Heavenly Father, I thank you, Lord, for Tommy Kovac. I thank you so much. You made him perfectly in your image. You made him perfectly to reflect what you want in this world, to be a great conduit. And he is so articulate. He's so on point, Lord. He's doing your purpose. And Lord, I ask you for protection for his heart, protection for those that anybody who would want to throw an arrow at him, that it be deflected and thrown back, that he be protected, his heart would be protected, that he would see your glory and continue in his quest to do his purpose here as you have so kindly given us all a purpose. I thank you, Lord, for all your goodness and our beloved Jesus Christ's name. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Oh, that's so lovely, Nancy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So,
the power of prayer is important.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So a couple quick things. Do you have any upcoming projects?
There's a couple of things that I can't talk about.
Oh, okay.
One, I'm not sure if I'm cast, and another, that's going ahead, but it's green light and slow, and yeah, like that. But yeah.
What?
I see some exciting things.
Nice. What color are your toenails painted?
I'll tell you. They are. And they're not my favorite color. It's a kind of pink. It's called Dusty Rose.
Oh, that must look pretty.
But I didn't like it on my nails, so I had my nails changed to a pale pink. Just so you know. Just saying.
Nice. Okay, I got two good jokes for you.
I want to hear.
Okay, this one's kind of gross, but a woman told me it. So,
It's okay.
how do you make your wife scream twice?
Don't know.
Fuck her up the ass and then wipe your dick on the curtain.
Oh, gross.
I told you.
Okay. That's a gross one. I've got a joke.
Okay, tell me.
What if there were two peanuts, and they were in a bar, and two peanuts to do. I think it was happy hour. And they're leaving the bar, and they're walking up the street. And one got toasted, and one got roasted. Okay, I'm telling you the joke wrong. I don't remember jokes at all.
I get it. I kind of get it.
One was roasted and one was toasted. Because, no, one was assaulted. One was assaulted and one was toasted.
Oh.
It's still not funny. I'm not telling it right. I just thought I'd bring it way down. Okay, I'll hear the second one.
Okay. So Cinderella is about to go to the ball, and she's on her period. And so the fairy godmother gives her these magic tampons and says, okay, you can be home, you can go to the ball, but you have to be home by midnight or else they'll turn into a pumpkin. So she says, okay, fairy godmother, I will. So 12:30 rolls around, and fairy godmother is pacing around the house, angry because Cinderella hasn't shown up. So then she does show up at 4 a.m., and she's stumbling drunk. And fairy godmother says, where were you? You were supposed to be home at midnight. And Cinderella's like, I'm so sorry, fairy godmother. I met this great guy, and we danced all night. His name was Peter.
Oh, got it.
Pumpkin eater.
Oh. I kept waiting for it to explode.
Oh.
It turns into a pumpkin at midnight. I'm like, it's 12:30. She's probably blown up somewhere. They're dancing all night. I don't think Peter was busy. So,
Well, I guess you
have to work on that second joke.
I tell it to people all the time, and they love it. I think maybe, I don't know, it's one of those...
Literal.
Yeah, it's one of those literal jokes, you know. The key word is subjective, you know.
Yeah, I think it's funny, but I literally was expecting her to be blown up by the pumpkin. I know. I'm bizarre. I'm literal. I didn't know I was literal until recently, which freaks me out. So, I think I'm not. Apparently I am. Anyway, Tommy, you probably have a day that you need to get back to.
Yes. But...
And this has been an honor.
Yes, I've enjoyed talking to you so much, Nancy. You're a lot of fun, and maybe before I go on hiatus, you know, to LA, you know, maybe we can talk again.
I'd love that. That'd be fun.
Yes.
It would be very fun, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm grateful that you reminded me. Just those reminders are so important. I'm saying it. Do it to everybody. And if you did it to me before, I'm sorry if I blew it, because no one intends to be as rude as one can be.
Oh, I never thought of you as rude, Nancy. I just thought of you as busy.
Thank you. It's the truth. I just get caught up, and then, like, it turns into rudeness. But that's not acceptable.
No, if I thought there was rudeness, I wouldn't have reached out to you again.
Thank you. I love the grace. I appreciate the grace. Well, I look forward to talking to you today, and I will keep you in my prayers.
Oh, absolutely. And
no more bullying.
Yes, definitely no more bullying. And also, I'd like to talk to Tom in the future, too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he'd adore it.
Awesome.
Have you reached out?
I didn't know if he was on social media.
Oh, totally.
I gotta find him.
You know his group, the Splat.
Oh, okay.
He's on social media too.
Okay, I'll find him then.
Tommy McLoughlin. I mean, I don't know how you find someone.
Well, you do the search.
Yeah, you just look up his name, and he's totally there.
Okay, awesome. I'll definitely look for him. And you have yourself a great day.
You too. Bless you. Talk to you later.
Bless you, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. Nancy McLoughlin. Ain't she a sweetheart? Yes, she is. And I'm just so blessed and grateful that she gave me a prayer on the air. Probably one of the most touching moments we've had on Splat from the past, over the past 2 years. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Nancy. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!